Too many Englishes. I'm in need of a palate cleanser. Yeah, I think going the aromatic route might be the way to go. Yep, this should do the trick. Good afternoon, friends and neighbors. This is your good buddy Bulldawg coming back at you, live and uncut from the Burn Studios here in the wilds of upstate New York. It is great to be back. I am so sorry I kind of slid off the face of the planet. Life caught up with me for a couple of weeks and I wasn't able to make a video. I am so sorry. I'm trying to do this weekly for you. And, well, I'm sorry that I slipped a bit there. Anywho, I am back, and here we go. Today, we are going to be talking about... Let me back it up a bit. I want to give a shout out to my friend Dan McClure. He goes by RatFacedGit6280 here on YouTube. I highly recommend you go check out his channel. He covers a broad array of subjects from especially motorcycles and fishing. If you're into either of those things, definitely check out his channel. I bring him up because he was nice enough to send me today's blend, which is Cornell and Diehl's Autumn Evening. All right, a very popular blend. As a matter of fact, I heard that Jeremy Reeves did say that this is one of the most, this is the most popular blend, the best-selling blend for Cornell and Diehl. I was surprised to hear that because I was always under the impression that Briar Fox was the top seller. Live and learn. All right. So anyway, today we are talking about Autumn Evening. Let me tell you a little bit about my background with this. I back in the day, back in the McClellan days, I was a huge fan of their blend, Town Topic, which was an outstanding maple blend. It was one of my go-tos. It was like this soft, creamy maple flavor. And ever since they closed their doors, all right, I'll tell you something that I did that was really stupid. I was in the middle of smoking my cigar kick, so the pipe thing was on the back burner. I came across the couple of tins of the McClellan blends, and I was like, these are old. I'll just throw them out. I'll get some more. I had no idea that McClellan had gone out of business, and I knew nothing about aging blends at that point. Be that as it may, ever since I threw out my tin of Town Topic, I've been on the hunt for a similar maple blend. Autumn Evening is not it. So if you can help me out, if you're familiar with Town Topic and the flavor that it had, that really nice soft maple, it was such a great fall blend. Autumn Evening is not. To me, Autumn Evening, when I started smoking Autumn Evening, I wasn't thinking fall. I wasn't thinking, cool crisp air and leaves falling off the trees. It didn't bring any of that to mind. What it brought to mind was breakfast, because it's really like maple syrup, and it's very, very aromatic forward, topping forward. We'll talk about that. Anyway, what happened recently, just before good old Dan sent me this tin, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should revisit this, because as I have been doing my home blending, I started working with the Red Virginia Cavendish that is offered by Cornell and Diehl. And I do have that here. It looks like so. And when I read, I didn't read it. I actually saw a short that that Jeremy Reeves did put out about Autumn Evening, and he was mentioning that it was made with the Red Virginia Cavendish, which I like smoking that straight. It's really good. So I was like, maybe I ought to try Autumn Evening, you know, give it another go, give it another fair shake here. And this is what the Autumn Evening looks like. And this is the Red Virginia Cavendish. So I have no reason whatsoever not to, or to doubt what Jeremy Reeves is saying about what that is, you know, what's in the blend. It looks like it's just straight Red Virginia Cavendish. And that's cool by me, because like I said, I like it a lot. It's not quite stoved. It's like halfway in between just a Red Virginia, a good solid Red Virginia ribbon, and a stoved Virginia. It kind of has qualities of both. It's got the sweetness of the typical Red Virginia flavor to it. Still, it maintains that. However, it also has hints of the molasses type flavor that is imparted upon it when it's stoved, when the sugars caramelize. So it's like the best of both worlds. It's really good. And like I said, smoking it straight is just fantastic. So anyway, Autumn Evening is exactly that. It's got the Red Virginia Cavendish, and it's topped. So let's talk a little bit more about that. The name of the blend, as I said, was Autumn Evening. It was blended by Craig Tarler, and I really was not familiar with that name as I came across it. But if you like Cornell and Diehl blends and you're familiar with their blends, you should probably get to know his name, because he has 62 blends to his credit as far as what shows up on tobaccoreviews.com. And a lot of them have been discontinued, but regardless, he has 62 blends to his credit. Mostly Cornell and Diehl blends, but there are at least 7 of the Two Friends blends as well. So he is the one who was working with Greg Pease to make the Two Friends blends before Jeremy Reeves stepped in, apparently. And yeah, there you will if you go on tobaccoreviews.com and you put Craig Tarler's name into the search bar, you'll see all the blends that were credited to his name. You have to scroll down a little bit, but there's 4 pages of these blends, and you'll see a lot of familiar friends there. All right, so again, it was blended by Greg Tarler, produced by Cornell and Diehl here in the good old US of A. It is sold in 2-ounce tins like such. It is also sold in the big old 8-ounce tins. And I haven't seen it, but apparently they offer it in the 1-pound tins and also in bulk. So it's widely available. The blend style, it's an aromatic. The blending components, as I said, it just seems to be Red Virginia Cavendish. And the topping, this is where I'm glad I looked into it again before I came back to it, because it's not just maple. And I was wrong to believe that going into it, because it's maple, vanilla, and surprisingly, Scotch. So when I saw that short with Jeremy Reeves and he was mentioning that, I was like, it's a much different blend than I remember. So I came back and I revisited, and I'll tell you what, when you go into something with a certain expectation and it doesn't meet that expectation, at least me personally, I tend to put it by the wayside. Didn't work out. Didn't do what I expected of it. So it's kind of nice to revisit these things, I have learned over the years, because Now that I've wrapped my head around it, I'm going into it with a different set of expectations. And now I'm expecting the red Virginia Cavendish instead, as opposed to a lot of aromatics use the black Cavendish because it carries flavors so well. Black Cavendish is made from burley, whereas this is made from red Virginias. So the flavor is much, much different. Also, the ones that are strict black Cavendish blends tend to be goopy. They tend to have the propylene glycol applied to them. And this one does not have that. It's very dry, as you can see. Let me show you in the skillet, give you a little bit of a wider view here. But it's, as you can see, it's more dry than anything else. The moisture, it's damp. It could stand to air out a little bit to hit that bullseye mark, but it's pretty close to being there because I've had it in the skillet for a bit here. It's a coarse cut, as you saw. It's not quite ribbon. It's close to it, but there's a lot of finer pieces in there, and it's just all different sizes. So you kind of have to go with the idea that it's a coarse cut. All right. So let me see. Did I talk about everything that I needed to talk about on that page? Yes, I did. Let's go to the next page. The skillet note. Straight off the bat, you get that maple syrup. But it does, you can get little hints of the vanilla in there too. I'm not picking up the scotch. Doesn't seem boozy. Yeah, and the topping really sublimates the smell of the natural tobacco, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, if you're going into this and you don't like aromatics, don't smoke this. All right, don't be an English smoker and come in here and say, "Oh, it's a terrible blend. It's a terrible blend." It's not. It's a terrible blend if you're expecting an English, because your expectations are totally different than what they should be. This is an aromatic. Go into it with the expectations of an aromatic. Aromatics have a topping that is prominent and often sublimates the regular tobacco flavor, the natural tobacco flavor. So don't have the wrong expectations and then trash it in reviews. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It is a good quality blend. It's got great red Virginia Cavendish in it, which is fantastic. And it's got the topping. It's for people who want to have that maple flavor. All right. Oh, let me read the tin description for you. Autumn Evening. Our proprietary red Virginia Cavendish is delicately cased with natural maple, resulting in our best-selling aromatic blend. Okay. All right. I might not be off in thinking that Briar Fox is their top seller, but this is apparently their best-selling aromatic blend. Okay. I'm going to have to look into that. Autumn Evening's captivatingly nuanced complexity will stimulate the smoker, while those nearby will be entranced by the inviting fragrance. Sorry, I didn't put on my glasses here. Ish. I can kind of agree with the fact that it's got a great room note. People will, a lot of people who smell it, who are around you, who are non-smokers, will say that it smells good. It's a very fragrant tobacco. As far as captivatingly nuanced complexity, I don't know about that. It's not like it's a blend or anything. It's really just a single single red Virginia. Well, unless it's a blend of red Virginias, I guess. We have lighter colored and darker colored in there as well. What do I know? But anyway, I don't normally sense any nuances with this. It is what it is. It's pretty straightforward, and it delivers upon what it promises. On that note, this is one of my country gentlemen, a good all American smoker, Missouri Meerschaum. And yeah, I love this pipe. This is a great, great shape overall. It'll smoke anything very well. All right, on that note, light them up. It is very, very tasty. Again, like I said, if you don't like aromatics, don't go into this thinking that you're going to like it. If you don't like spinach, don't eat spinach. But this is an aromatic, definitely, with a very heavy topping. It is mostly the maple. I think there's a hint of vanilla here, but I think the vanilla is just more there to make it creamy and kind of round things out a bit. As far as the booziness is concerned, yeah, I can see that. I can see it because it's not just straight maple vanilla. It's got a little something something backing it up there. I can see that as being Scotch. And the cool thing is, go figure, it's got almost a butterscotch caramel flavor to it with all those intermixed. Now, the topping is primarily what you're going to taste. Go into it expecting that. Keeping that in mind, though, I think that the Red Virginia Cavendish is definitely the way to go for this blend. Really plays well with the flavors. You can still get the flavor of the Red Virginia Cavendish in there. But yeah, you're getting the toppings first and foremost. No tongue bite. No tongue bite at all. And chooching on it like that doesn't really disrupt the flavor much either. Because of that, I think this would be a great, great blend for a beginner who wants to get into aromatics. It lights easily. It stays lit easily. It delivers on flavor where a lot of other, I got to give it credit here too, a lot of other aromatics have a wonderful tin note. Then you smoke it, and halfway through the bowl, or even at all, sometimes you can't even, it doesn't come through in the taste at all, or else it falls flat halfway through the bowl. This carries through all the way. It delivers. Very mild in the vitamin N department. Another reason it would be great for a beginner. You have that full flavor of the topping working with the natural tobacco flavor. Working very well, actually. Very good smoke output, as you can see. As far as cellaring potential is concerned, I'm not sure. It's one of those that could be iffy with the topping. A lot of aromatics are not known for their cellaring potential. Being that it has the red Virginia Cavendish, that part of it would do well to age. But I'm not sure what the potential is with the topping. A lot of them can degrade with age, or even worse, they can have an really off flavor. They can develop a totally different flavor than they originally intended. All right. So, yeah, like I said, who is this for? Anybody who enjoys a good quality aromatic. Like I said, it would do well for a beginner because of the fact that it stays lit. There is no tongue bite. It's not your typical goopy aromatic, like I said, so it's not going to make your bowl all nasty like a lot of other things. 1Q, pardon me. I can't dog 1Q. 1Q is delicious if you're an aromatic smoker, but it goops the hell out of your bowl. I just can't smoke it anymore because it makes a mess. But this is one of those ones that it's just done right. You're getting the flavor of the toppings. You're getting some of the tobacco flavor. They're working well together. It's pleasing. It's got a great room note. So yeah, this is just an aromatic done right. Would I recommend it? On a scale of 1 to 10, of 1 being a blend that's absolute crap and 10 being absolute nirvana, I would say this would be a solid 6. It's a very, as you know, as they say on the label, it's a very popular blend, and it just seems like everybody seems to know about it. You're cool if you smoke it. If not, you're a weenie. No, just kidding. But everybody does. Most folks know about this. If they haven't tried it, they've at least heard about it. And if you haven't tried it, I'd say, hey, go for it, man. It's one of those, it's going to become legendary, I think. People talk about this blend a lot. All right? And people will laugh at me because they think legendary. They think McClellan and all that stuff. But this is a big, big blend it's very popular. So, yeah, go ahead. Give it a shot if you haven't. And again, this is your good buddy Bulldawg. Thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you next time.